Welcome back, my friends, to another episode here in Germania. Welcome, guys. We're going to continue, my friends, in our conquest of the world, hopefully. For those of you that missed the first episode, please do make sure to go take a look at that. It's well worth a watch, and it'll kind of get you caught up on what we've done so far. Now, we have taken Warsaw this turn. I'm not sure if that definitely means the destruction of Poland, or if we need to take a few more cities, areas, etc. There's still Białystok and I believe a few more other cities I can't recall. Modlin, that's right. It's still under enemy control. So we'll see if the enemy ends up, rallying or something like that. In the meantime, what I'm going to start doing, guys, almost immediately is I'm going to start moving my bombers over here. My bombers, my fighters, and some of my generals right to the border with the Netherlands and Belgium. That is going to be our next target pretty much as soon as we take Poland out of the works and have a nice little agreement with the Soviets to split up the rest of the territory, the rest of the Lebensraum, of course. And we've also done most of our attacks against the units here, although I wouldn't mind actually sacrificing some garrison units here in maybe a futile attempt to damage that core. I don't know if it's a great idea. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to move garrison unit out of Jehol. I hope Jehol is not one of the areas where basically the Soviets will see us as weak if we don't have units there. I don't think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. And let's also bomb this area. Any chance we get to single out enemy armies or enemy corps and hit them here in China, I think is absolutely something we need to do. Because the Chinese have a lot of troops, and this is, after all, their land. I think we should be able to finish off that army right there. Let's do the old switcheroo. And boom. That's it, guys. It's actually a core, but still quite a lot of men destroyed there in one go. Wish we could immediately jump here and cut off, well, we already have pretty much cut off the rail line to Wuhan province, but that's ours. None of these rail lines seem to be really supplying these troops, so I don't think we would actually make that much of a difference. That being said, let's take a look over here. We've still got some amphibious vehicles, and I believe those are going to have to be moved next turn. Oh, that's right, before I forget, people warned me about this, and unfortunately, we just can't take on the enemy navy. So I'm going to start actually getting our troops the hell out of here. We're going the extra long way. We might even hang out here for a while because we're not going to be able to sneak past the enemy that easily with these submarines. So we're actually going to focus on the Soviet fleet over here to the east at Leningrad, St. Petersburg, for those of you that want to know the exact location. I just don't think we can get through with any more of these submarines, and we'll use just what we can pretty much to harass the enemy. Got a carrier here, but he's not going to be able to raid anybody, although we do have a submarine here doing a pretty good job. I think, however, with the heavy cruiser, I'm actually going to move up, and I'm going to do the same with the submarine here. Get him closer to the coast of Ireland here and the coast of England. I think that's the way to go. Also, people mention research here is going to be extremely important, and to go for mobility here. But infantry warfare also looks pretty good. I don't see mobility as being something possible. Let's see. Spend 175 to get it. Let's do it. And over here for infantry weapons on the German side, I'm going to spend MPP to research that. And of course, guys, if you want to share your thoughts down below, please do. It really does help to get your thoughts or feedback. Somebody, I think, mentioned advanced tanks, but we got insufficient funds for that. So we'll accept that for now. We'll end the turn and see what the Polish have up their sleeve. I don't think they have much, honestly. Maybe not even any rounds left. Let's end the turn here, guys. Let's see what happens. All right, Poland surrenders. That's it. Beautiful. That's a problem solved. And, of course, we're going to give Stalin his half. And at this point, I'm going to move everybody to the west. So Molotov, the Soviet foreign minister, is now urging us to pull back. And we say yes to honor the pact. We are going to honor the pact, guys. It's just the smart thing to do. We can't work with that eastern part of Poland anyway. And if we eventually want to go to war with the Soviets, let's do it on our terms. And let's not just give them a reason to attack us immediately. So we move back to our assigned locations. And at this point, I'm going to start repositioning that army over by the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. British expeditionary forces arrived in France. See de Gaulle there reviewing the troops, and that's certainly not the greatest thing in the world. This is some good news, though. The nationalists and the communists are now fighting amongst themselves in China, and that's certainly going to cause some damage to their armies. We can see the communists seem to have bombed the nationalist air depot there, or the airport. And I think now what we want to do is start moving troops west. Now, I'm not sure if we should have any troops at all on the Eastern Front watching, maybe some garrison units, but obviously we can't worry about the East the entire time. Another thing that was suggested is to maybe move a few troops to take Denmark, which is definitely something we want to do, but I don't want to make it our main focus. I don't see the invasion of Denmark as being all that difficult. All right, looks like they're doing a lot of just reinforcement. This seems to be a common theme in China, is just consistent reinforcement of those units. Let's just hope that our submarine gets away, dies from the attack, and at that point we can head over to the North Channel and start affecting the enemy. Now, he did die, but he got hit, and I don't know what the hell happened there because he lost a unit, but somehow regained it. So maybe he got clipped, but managed to save that sub. I'm just happy that the guy's alive. All right, this is what I was worried about. They're getting to the south of Peking, and we've got still the garrison unit at Tianjin to keep them back, but I don't know if we can keep all of these guys back. There's just too many of them. So we really need to reinforce that northern line as soon as possible. We've got those 2 amphibious transports, but I was kind of hoping to send one or both of those to the south. I think that's just better. Germany celebrates victory over Poland and the return of Danzig. French morale suffers from the fall of Poland. So we really need to use this to our advantage as soon as possible. All right, we have disrupted some of those Canadian convoys. The British are not going to be getting everything they think that they're going to be getting. Neither are the French, hopefully, although I think actually the French will still get quite a bit of their supplies. But the time now, guys, is to get on the front, to start resupplying those units as quickly as we can. At the end of 1940, we'll be presented with a proposal to deploy a force in Italy to serve in the Mediterranean. This force, which will be known as Africa Corps, yeah, we know all about that, guys, to start the war in Northern Africa. But we got to get there first, and we do have a few of these garrison units in China, which we are going to use to, Japan, excuse me, which we are going to use to relieve the armies around Harbin and send them to the Manchurian front. I think that's where they're going to be needed the most. So for now, we'll drop these garrison troops around, get them on some port ships, some supply ships, and send them into battle. All right, in the meantime, guys, I want to immediately start getting guys on that western front, and of course, we're reinforcing the ones that are damaged. So for instance, I'll go over here to the guy at Cologne, and I will reinforce it. I know Cologne, but actually the proper German pronunciation is Cologne, so that's what we're going to call it here. We're going to be a little pretentious on the channel. I'm not too pretentious. Most of the games I play, I lose, and I put that up here, so I can be a language. I'm not going to use the word, the NA word, because of YouTube. I can be a grammar, you know what. That's okay. So we're reinforcing, of course, just the line here, the main line with France. I want to make sure that these guys are prepared for a counterattack, anything like that, because I don't think we're going to be heading across this particular line to actually attack the French. That would be suicide. We're going to have to go through Belgium and the Netherlands, pretty much. These guys right here, guys, I'm going to dub Invasion Denmark. So we're going to send these 3 units right here, the paratroopers as well, and I'll send one. We only have 2 tank armies, so you know what? I'm not going to send either tank army to assist. I think they should be able to take Denmark on their own. And just keep on sending the rest of our troops to the west. If you guys would like to suggest defenses, please do. Right now, for instance, I'm going to send our Slovakian units here. I'll keep maybe the German, the German corps, if I can, in this area. But I'll start moving the rest of these guys back, including, of course, the generals. Maybe we should have one general on the Eastern Front, but if all goes to plan, the Soviets should not be attacking us, for quite a while. We should be the ones attacking first. But we'll see what happens. I mean, of course, you know, you never know what's going to happen in this game. Things can certainly change, and they can change very quickly. All right, so with our submarine, I wonder if we can get past the sensors, for lack of a better word. Nice. I'm just going to put them up here for now, guys. The rest of our Kriegsmarine fleet, I'm going to send to the Baltic Sea, and I'm doing this specifically to save them. It also wouldn't be a bad idea to engage some Soviet fleets on the way, but we really, really want to save these guys while we can. I'm going to try to sneak by with another submarine, but yeah, I didn't think he was going to get away. U-47 attacking here. We're going to try to get U-47 over here off the coast of Norway. Hopefully he can work his magic. But for this sub, U-35, I'm keeping him back here just to be absolutely safe. And we could actually already begin bombardment campaigns against the French, but I'm not entirely sure this is a good time to do that. You can see our chances of getting a hit on these guys is pretty low, but they also have like areas like here at Vosges where the French infantry is very, very weak. And if we could break through and do some damage, man, who knows? We might even be able to break through the non-traditional way right across the line. Nice. Damage some of the French fighter planes there. Quite a few of them, actually. And let's see, we actually did do some damage to that infantry unit. Pretty awesome. I'm not going to test my luck, though, with the second crew of bombers. I just don't think that's necessary. And I really do want to reinforce those men, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that this turn. Head to the far east, and let's see what's going on here. Okay, guys, so the Chinese, of course, trying to get to the south of Peking, and I think we just need to keep the pressure on them. We could go straight for their general, but I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. We're just going to keep hitting them here. I'm going to move over here to the rail line at Peking, and I hope you guys understand why I'm doing that and not staying in this area. You know, this is really the most important part of Peking. I'll even move the garrison units out, although I'm not going to attack with them, primarily because I don't think they're going to do very well. But we will move up over here. We should have attacked there because we were going to get a great attack. And I'll move this 37th Army up as well. Banzai! Nice. Now, this is where things get a little dicey because we've only got one army defending this area against multiple Japanese units. And I don't like that one bit. There's really not much we can do. We could start moving this army up, and that's what I'm going to do, from Wuhan over here to this area. It's kind of frustrating that we have to do it that way, but that is the way we're going to do it, guys. And at this point, we've got this Chinese army completely surrounded. I think we could pretty much vanquish them in one blow. But let's not press our luck too much. Let's just see what happens. Here we go, guys. Attack. They actually managed to defend pretty damn well there. Shame on them. And of course, taking Changsha, an industrial center, this early on would be great. So you can see we just switched out our armies, guys, to continue the assault. These guys are holding on for dear life. And this is a core. The C in Roman numerals, I'm actually not sure of. Interesting core there, and fortification defenses around Changsha destroyed. That is awesome. Of course, if we could get an attack into Henyang, that would be even better. But I think I'd prefer to defend Canton Province. Start getting the troops over here from Taiban. In fact, we'll reinforce these troops, and eventually we will send them over. And let's get those amphibious craft that we have off the coast. And somebody mentioned this in the comments, and you're absolutely right. I should have just made these regular transport ships because we've got a lot of ports in the area, in Shanghai, for instance. But I'm going to bring these amphibious craft either right here or right down here to the south. I think we'll probably bring them up here where the partisans have caused some damage. Because that's probably where we're needed the most. And oh, look at that. Another army we can send through. They might not be useful this turn, but eventually they will be. Let's also see if we can do anything else in terms of research for Japan. And yes, I'm going to do a little bit of research into infantry weapons. And for our German friends, let's go for some advanced tanks. Nice. All right, it's going to take a while. You can see here the research is going to take a while to get, and I'm not sure if we want to go for a mobility with the Germans. We are, of course, going for mobility with our Japanese friends. All right, guys, we shall end the turn there. I think we've done just about everything we can. We've got, of course, our Italian troops, but they can't really do much right now. Of course, they're not technically at a state of war with France, not yet anyway. But I guess we might as well go ahead and get on the border, and also getting on the border of Yugoslavia. I really would love to bring Yugoslavia to the Axis, but I'm just not sure, you know, how simple it's going to be to get the Balkans to join us. I will go to diplomacy, and let's see who's getting really close. So Bulgaria is getting very close to joining us. Who I really want, though, are the Romanians. And Romania is doing pretty good. We're going to try to speed that process up a bit. And maybe this isn't even worth it. If you guys think that I'm crazy for doing this, then let me know. And we shall end the turn. Here we go, guys. Just making sure I've done every single move that I possibly can in this situation. We could probably move those fighters up a bit closer. And we shall end the turn. Okay, best of luck to the Allies. British national morale is boosted by the decisive action taken to occupy the Irish ports. I'm sure the Irish are not too happy, and De Valera there is letting them know that they are not happy. And even Americans are not happy. As you can imagine, there are a lot of Irish Americans, especially in places like New York, Boston, the big cities at this time. So that certainly pissed them off. Let's see how the enemy's going to react to this. We are getting lined up on that very important front with, of course, the Netherlands and Belgium, but we've got a lot of work that still needs to be done here, guys. Now, I've expected counterattacks from the Chinese, but so far, no luck. Although with that garrison unit there, I think they'd be a bit crazy not to try and tear a few chunks out of it. Which is kind of exactly what I want them to do. I don't really have much love for that garrison unit. Alright, artillery. Yep, sure enough. So they're going to try to soften them up. It's a good idea. Beautiful. So in that particular battle, you know, very small one, but we managed to come out on top. And sure enough, yeah, the enemy had to go for the garrison unit, and this is why I wanted them to do it. That army, we see where it is. It's very weakened. They have destroyed the garrison unit, but we've got our own armies up here. We're going to move in and attack that position, and I'm fairly sure if we can at least destroy one of those armies, we can damage it badly enough that they have to pull back, and we're going to keep on moving to Baotao. I'm not actually sure of the name of that province, by the way. Not very familiar with it. Sichuan in the south, etc. I'm kind of familiar with, but I have no idea if that province has any value. Is that it? That's all they're going to do? Wow. And we did disrupt them there. Looks like weather is clear here, at least in China. It's going to be a glorious time for our Japanese units to march across and claim this land for the Emperor. This is absolutely the perfect time for it, guys. All right, first garrison destroyed. The U.S. Secretary of State has communicated to the following statement through the American Charge of Affairs in Berlin. It's adopted a declaration of general neutrality in the Pan-American Safety Zone. This zone averages 300 miles in width and runs south from the city of Halifax through to the Caribbean and west of the Panama coast. So they're asking us not to basically send any subs in that area. Yeah, that's I think they're referring to this area right here where you see the American ships. We won't get anywhere near there. We don't really need to anyway. Instead, I'm just going to focus on pretty much trying to stop any supplies from getting into Scotland. I was about to say Northern England there, and I realized that my Scottish fans would probably cut my head off, so I made sure to not do that. And we'll get this sub. Okay, we got this sub up here. That's the one we were looking for. So with this sub, I'm slowly making it around to be able to hit the channel there and disrupt supply convoys, etc. Ooh, we got an enemy battleship here, and I'm definitely going to try to escape. Now, we've got our boys set up on the front here, and somebody suggested, and I think it was the right suggestion, that we want to take one turn when we have this front completely covered. And in that one turn, we want to try and repair all our airfields. You know, we want to make sure that all of our infantry units refreshed, replenished, etc., etc. So that's what we're going to do. And it's actually going to take us a while to get here. That's Group Denmark. They're going to go north and take Denmark. The rest of these guys will be heading west. There's not going to be any nostalgie in this Let's Play. We are going straight for France right now. We'll eventually head back to deal with the Russians. But I don't think we're going to be doing that for quite a while. In fact, I hope we're not doing that for quite a while. Because the Russians, they are pretty tough enemies. Let's be honest about it, guys. Now, I am going to go ahead and start heading into the Gulf of Finland here. To try and look for a few Soviet ships if I can find them. But I don't think anybody's going to be leaving Leningrad. They're going to stay away. And look at that. Oh man, we still can't break through the Mannerheim line. Of course not. It's just too it's too crazy to even attempt. Even with 4, we wouldn't be able to necessarily break through. It's all about getting on the front there, guys. That's pretty straightforward, honestly. All right, back to the Far East. So what can be done here? We've got quite a lot of things we need to do. First thing I'm going to do is start attacking Tsingwan. Because we've actually got a pretty good advantage here. We could have gone for the artillery, but I think it's actually more valuable for us to go here. The problem is, of course, that annoying partisan unit, and that's why I'm going to send our amphibious vehicles that way. I'd love to leave Canton to support the attack over here, but I know better, guys. Now, as for Changsha, this might be one of our greatest hopes for an actual victory. Of course, the odds were against us here, but I'm still going for it. The Emperor is with us, although apparently he wasn't with us there. We're still going to attack Changsha there with an army. Beautiful. Imagine if we could take a Chinese city this early on. I think that would be pretty epic. Oh, I don't think we can do a switch here. No switch. No, we can't do a switch. However, a lot of the enemy units here are quite weak. So we're just going to keep the entire area near Changsha as sort of a combat zone here. And yeah, again, I really wish I could move up from Canton, but last time we did that, we ended up losing Canton province. So I don't think I want to risk it. Now here, I think we'll be fine for an amphibious transport, because we want to drop them off as quickly as possible there. Let's also get these garrison units in regular transports. And these are the guys that we want to send pretty much over here to places like Station and re-garrison them in these cities and bring these units over to the front, the actual army units to the front, where they're going to be a lot more useful. Yeah, we can't get a transport for him. We're going to have to wait a little bit, but he's next on the list for sure, guys. I promise you that. And I think right now we can go ahead and we can end the turn. Yep. All right, guys, it's going to be it there. Again, if you guys enjoyed this series, please do make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe to this channel. Also, hit that bell so that you're notified whenever we upload a new episode. You know, of course, we've redone our alternative history series to do a more serious one here, so any advice you have, tactical advice, it really helps. All right, the Soviets have invaded the Finns. Soviet aggression against Finland causes widespread anger in the West. And Finland will probably eventually join us. Somebody mentioned in the comments, and they're absolutely right. Finland, you know, hey, great to have an ally, but they're an ally that's very, very tough to defend because of the fact that they have so many fronts with the Soviets. So you're not only trying to defend or attack the Soviets in the West, but in the Northwest, you've got to deal with Soviet invasion. So I'm not exactly looking forward too much to the Finns joining us. I love Finland, but maybe just wait for a little bit. By the way, guys, to get an idea of how long people watch this series, if you guys have made it this far in the video, please drop a comment down below. Whoever makes that first comment, just thumb that up. I'm just curious to see how far you guys go into this, to see me either fail miserably or do fairly well. Also, if you want to tell me how you think I'm doing so far, be brutally honest. I'm just fine with that. Nice. Not so nice. Sub fought back, but I think he's going to be taken out by that destroyer. Seems like a very likely possibility. I'm not sure if that was a cruiser or if they... Oh, that's definitely a cruiser. I was thinking, like, would a plane really risk flying that far from the coast to attack a submarine, especially in that cold water? I wouldn't risk it. Now, keep in mind, guys, our next order of business is absolutely going to be war with the Netherlands, Belgium, and the invasion of northern France. So I want you guys to prepare for that. If you have any plans, if you guys think we should wait a little bit, let me know. But I'm pretty much planning to go right into there. Pretty much January, February, we are going to be in France. That's the goal here. Take it by January or February of 1940. I think it'd be kind of cool. All right, the Soviets are expelled from the League of Nations following the attack on Finland. Obviously, that paints them in a bad light in the rest of the world, but it also shows up us and the rest of the world that they don't care about breaking treaties or anything like that. And you guys can imagine for the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, if we don't act first, they might go ahead and just attack us anyway. In fact, that's one of the reasons why Hitler did attack the Soviet Union, was he anticipated a Soviet attack eventually. So sort of a preemptive strike. Was it a successful preemptive strike? Well, hell no. All right, here we go, guys. I will end the turn. I'd love to keep on playing, guys, for a long, long time. But I just want to see if we can get the enemy out of Tinsen. If not this turn, next. Again, I'm being very careful to stay close to those cities. Let's bring a battleship over here. I don't think he's going to be able to reach, unfortunately. And we're just going to have to wait a turn there. But it looks like a lot of the Chinese units here are weakening, for sure. Certainly not close to complete destruction. That's going to take a long time. But slowly but surely. Alright, guys, thank you so much. I could keep playing forever, so I'm going to stop it here. But obviously, if you guys want to see more, you know exactly what you need to do. Get involved as soon as you can. Give me some feedback. I love your feedback, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Glory to Germania.